of Krajina. And so when they asked me to clarify what secret service, I said Krajina. Kad sam jučer govorio, isključivo sam govorio o službi Krajine, miliciji Krajine i vojske Krajine ili JNA do Vensovenog plana.
I ni u jednom organizacija ne podrazumevate policiju ili službu državne bezbednosti Srbije, je li tako?
Tako je. They're trying to try him for crimes against Croats. My God. I accuse him for not helping enough because he was in position and he has all the arguments to help the Serbs in Krajina. And he didn't do it. And I would like to see that man hang, but not for what they're charging him with. I think for what they're charging him with, he's innocent. And this is where the thing sort of started to, and I said, Jesus Christ, for 2 years, you know, since we've been communicating, you didn't realize that I was talking about Ukraine. I mean, that's so stupid, you know, that's really, they got very angry. They didn't even cover my expenses, and I found that it was very, very cheap, you know. So the thing is, if you're not prepared to come down there and lie for them, they won't cover your expenses. If you're prepared to, I honestly felt that if I went up to him and says, look, I'm prepared to lie, and I want, I don't know, $5 million, that they will pay them immediately. I honestly started to view them as criminals. First of all, they are supposed to be chasing war criminals. They are protecting war criminals, and I'll show you how. I mean, this is a serious accusation. I'm saying that they are protecting war criminals, and I honestly feel that I can defend that in any court in the world that I just said that. How they protect it? They can get a war criminal, they give him this witness protection paper, and he can say, okay, I have killed so many, you know, I don't know, families, and I would protect him. What happened to those victims who that protected criminal? I don't believe, I mean, if you have such a law that a war crime never ages, that the war crime, you know, there's never a time where you can be forgiven for a war crime. Who gives them a right to protect a war criminal? I don't think it's very easy to send from the top a command, to issue a command for a war crime. Because in this chain of command, there will be a one normal, sensible person who will say, hey, listen, I'm not going to commit a crime. It is more likely that somebody flips on the bottom and commits a crime, and then up as the information goes to the top, it gets cut off somewhere. That somebody sort of say, okay, well, look, let's forget about this, and that information doesn't come to the top.
Don't say anything and just read it.
Ultimately, Milosevic ran this thing, just like a mafia boss. The ethnic cleansing of Kosovo, that certainly is not something some colonel is going to think up. You know, and if you're the president and some general did that, you'd fire him immediately. No, this is but, you know, people like Milosevic are clever in how they nuance things and how they give orders, you know. They use euphemisms and how they say it and what have you. So you may not see his signature. He's not stupid enough to write an order saying, you, General, are directed to mount Operation so-and-so. He kind of says to you, now, you know what I want you to do, don't you? Understand? And you say, yes, sir, you know. That's how it works. It's, they're not, dictators aren't that dumb that they document their crimes.
Jacques-Paul Klein zegt dat Milosevic niet zo dom is dat hij zijn misdaden in orders heeft vastgelegd. Als dat zo is, waar haal je dan de bewijzen vandaan?
Mr. Tanic, you've got a lot of evidence to give and it's important that we hear it.
Het is 15 mei 2002. Getuige Radomir Tanic wordt gepresenteerd als een insider. Van hem verwacht de aanklager dat hij de directe betrokkenheid van Milosevic bij etnische zuiveringen in Kosovo gaat bewijzen. Hij is kennelijk zo belangrijk dat hij de status heeft van beschermde getuige. Dus hij is onherkenbaar. Tanic vertelt dat Milosevic met hem over zuiveringen in Kosovo heeft gesproken. Precies zoals in de aanklacht staat.
You used in your evidence the phrase, continue with the persecution of Albanians. Obviously it's a long time ago and don't guess if you can't, but can you help at all with exactly what he said about the Albanians and all persecution of them?
Well, he said to finish ethnic cleansing, to have a pretext for completing the ethnic cleansing of the Albanians or to throw them out of the territory of Yugoslavia. And I heard words to that effect from others as well. Objection.
Yes, what's the objection?
What does it mean if he can say some nonsense like this and then he says that he can't tell you who he heard it from?
That's a point you can make in due course. You can ask him again in cross-examination, and we'll decide what to do about it. Meanwhile, the witness can go on in the same way.
Milosevic wil eerst weten, niet waarover, maar waar hij met Tanic heeft gesproken.
Gospodine Tanić, pošto tvrdite da sam vam to rekao na prijemu u julu 1997. godine, gde smo stajali kad smo razgovarali na tom prijemu? Gde smo stajali nas dvojicu? Ili sedeli, mislim, kako hoćete, samo gde? Opišite to.
Zgrada Jula je vila u ulici Đure Đakovića. Kad se ulazi sa fronta ima salon za prijem koji izlazi na dvorište. Sa frontalne strane levo od tog salona ulazi se u jednu posebnu prostoriju gde je gospodin Milošević imao običaj da večera odnosno pred kraj prijema sa grupom svojih bliskih saradnika. Tu ja nisam spadao, ali mi smo negde otprilike oko tog mesta između velikog salona i ove prostorije koja se zastirala zavesom i gde je gospodin Milošević posle večera svojim najbližim saradnicima tu negde.
A tvrdite da ste, dok sam bio predsjednik Srbije, bili u mom kabinetu, i sad ću vam citirati, to je na strani 3, tu ste pomenuli predsjedništvo i zgradu Savezne skupštine gdje se sastavljam svim, ili u njegovom ličnom kabinetu levo od ulaza. Da li znate da moj kabinet nije levo od ulaza, da je levo od ulaza portirnica, pa onda kuhinja, pa onda velika svečana trpezarija, pa sve to, pa tu uopšte nema mog kabineta. Moj kabinet, odnosno kabinet predsjednika Republike Srbije, na prvom spratu, na kraju hola, pretposlednja vrata. Nikako ne može biti levo od ulaza. Dakle, vi niste nikad bili tamo, je li tako ili nije?
Nije tako, gospodine Milošević, ja sam tamo bio najmanje 2 puta.
Molim vas, rekli ste da ste se sastajali, piše ovde u mom ličnom kabinetu levo od ulaza, sad menjate iskaz pa kažete da se sastajali. Samo se pitam kako ste uspjeli da ovo prodate.
Oprostite, ovo je krajnje uvredljiva primedba, ne mogu da je dozvolim ni po cenu da ja ispadnem arogantan. Ovo je uvredljiva primedba, sam ja nešto prodavao bilo kome. Pa nije ovaj sud dečije obdanište da ja nekom nešto prodajem.
Molim vas da odgovarate na moja...
Stop personal argument. Mr. Milosevic, if you want this to continue, you must stop. And that is an official warning that if you go on in this way, then the cross-examination will be brought to a close. Don't argue.
Nemojte da se
Ask the question.
De getuige beweert ook nog dat hij geheime onderhandelingen met de Albanese heeft gevoerd.
Ako su vam oni rekli i vi shvatili da SDB sistematski ne podržava ni jedno od nastojanja se pregovara, kako su vas onda mogli ovlastiti da onda vodite vi te pregovore?
Ovo je očigledno greška u kucanju, pošto je izjava data na engleskom i zaista rečenica je sama po sebi besmislena. Što se tiče...
Znači, ovo su štamparske greške, dakle ovo što vas ja pitam. To su štamparske greške u vašim izjavama.
That's what he said.
Malo pre ste rekli da nikad niste izjavili da ste bili glavni pregovarač, a vi ste, gospodine May, također rekli da svedok nikad nije izjavio da je bio glavni pregovarač. Pa vas zato molim da pogledate...
In his evidence, he did not say that.
Zato da pogledate prvi red sljedećeg pasusa na istoj strani, gdje piše: ja sam bio glavni pregovarač u ovim diskretnim pregovorima. Tačka.
Page 2.